Everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and a week or so ago I did a video on Apple's new MagSafe wireless charger and what charger to use to get the best charging speeds out of it, and basically determined using a meter what kind of power we would get through this charger depending on the actual adapter that we used. And what I found was the 20-watt Apple adapter seemed to charge at 15 watts consistently. So what I wanted to do is see if there are any third-party charging adapters that will actually work. I tested quite a few and could not get any to go up to the 15-watt power, such as this Anker Powerport Atom PD1. This would not charge at 15 watts, so I wanted to see if there were any of them out there. Now, with help from my friend Steve Moser and then finally a document that Apple published, it gave us what spec we actually should use in order to get that charge. So there's a couple chargers out there that met that spec, and I wanted to try them out. So the first one is an Aukey charger. This is an Aukey charger that's a 20-watt charger. And then I also have an Anker charger. This is a newer one. A lot of people ask me to try out the Powerport 3 Nano. And so Apple has clarified a spec that you need in order to get these to work. You need a 9-volt 2.22 amp or 9-volt 2.56 amp and higher charger, and generally 20 watts or higher. So if you have that spec, these should work. So let's go ahead and try out the Anker one. Now, before I do that, there's a couple things you need for the phone to actually hit those 15-watt charge speeds. The first thing is it needs to be fairly cool. It can't be too hot. And also it needs to be a lower battery charge. So meaning about 50% battery. I found it would still fast charge up to 80% depending on ambient temperature, but mostly between or under 50%, you'll usually get the faster speeds. So this phone is cool to the touch. Let's go ahead and plug in and see what we get. So I've got a USB-C adapter here. We'll plug this one in. Then we'll plug into this meter that will tell us what our power delivery is. And then we'll plug into the bottom with the MagSafe adapter. And let's put this on the phone. So we'll put it on the back of the phone. Now it's charging. You can see in the upper right here, it's charging. And now it's delivering power. This meter tells us what the power delivery is, 9 volts. It's ramping up the amperage. It's also bringing up the milliwatt hours and the wattage in the bottom right. So it takes a moment to hit that 15%. Let's give it a minute and see what it does. So hopefully it speeds up here and gets up to that 15-watt charging using that spec with this new Anker Powerport adapter. Now, sometimes when the phone is in use also, if you turn the screen off, it seems to help. It's still cool to the touch, and maybe the battery has to warm up a little bit before you can get that full power as well. So you'll see we're at 12 watts of power. I was bouncing off of 14 watts. You'll see it's going up just a little bit. We're almost at 14 watts. There we go. And we should be able to get that full 15-watt power delivery. You can see it's doing it now, 15 watts. It's even going a little bit higher than that. So we know that the new Anker charger will work. So it's at 16 watts now 17. So it's actually going up. And so we know that this new Anker Powerport 3 Nano actually works. Now let's try out the other one that I have. It has a similar spec, and this is an Aukey charger. This is the 20-watt power delivery wall charger. Now I purchased both of these myself, so I wanted to see if they would work based off those specs. Again, let's plug it in. It says welcome. The phone is charging now. We're at 31%. Let's see if we can ramp up to those speeds with this adapter as well. And the phone is still cool to the touch, so we should be able to get those speeds. It's not warm at all. So let's see what we get. So we're up to 9 watts already. Now, after a couple of minutes, you'll see we're charging at 15 watts. So we're bumping up to 16 watts now, and that's with the Aukey charger. So thanks to testing and Apple, we now know that as long as you have a 9-volt 2.22 amp or 9-volt 2.56 amp or higher charger with 20 watts or higher, you should have the ability to fast charge. Now, you won't stay there the entire time. It's limited if you have headphones connected. It'll be limited to 7.5 watts to comply with regulatory standards if anything's plugged into the Lightning port. Also, the charge will be slowed down if you get above 80% battery, and it will also slow itself down if it gets too hot to help preserve battery life over time. Now, they also have said with the Mini, the iPhone 12 Mini, you won't get 15 watts, so you get a little bit slower than that. Now, as far as these particular adapters, you should be able to use any others that actually have that spec, but these particular adapters I purchased myself. This is not a sponsored video, but Anker was nice enough to give me some coupon codes, so I'll link those in the description below with some affiliate links, so you can get a little bit of a discount if you want to pick this one up, and it should work fine with MagSafe. It seems to work okay. It will charge at the full 20 watts when you're using it without MagSafe as well, so it works fine. I can show you that quick since quite a few people wanted to see what it was like as far as the speed. Now, when it's not using MagSafe, they ramp up in speed much faster when you're charging iPhones. So let me take MagSafe off. We'll plug in here and we'll use the meter. Flip this around to activate the meter. Sometimes it does that. There we go. And I'll show you plugged in directly with Lightning. It should zip right up to 20 watts pretty quickly. You'll see we're almost at 20 watts. For some reason, it takes a lot longer using wireless charging. Again, you'll get the same thing with Apple's adapter or this Aukey adapter. So we'll plug that one in. We should get the same sort of 20 watt charging here. Should zip right up to it. There we go. So we're already at about 20 watts of charging speed. So you can use any of these chargers, including Apple's, with the Lightning adapter. If you don't want to use MagSafe, you'll get a little bit faster speed without the wireless charger. So now we're using Apple's 20 watt adapter, and you can see it's already at 20 watts or so. So they all work fine, but if you wanted to pick up a smaller one, it is significantly smaller, any of these. And again, I'll link them in the description below. Also, I'll link this meter in the description below if you want to try it out. It works with USB-A and USB-C and USB or micro USB. So you can use any one of those connectors if you want to try it out, see what kind of power you're pushing through it. So hopefully that helped, and let me know what charger you're using. Are you using MagSafe? Are you using a different wireless charger, a different Qi wireless charger? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, of course, I'll link it in the description like I normally do. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.